Morning, traders. Hope you guys are all having a great morning so far. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not posting yesterday's video. I went back on the triple Qs and SPY, and I redrew my levels. I want to look at multiple time frames and get and redraw those levels based on the moves and the confluence around those levels. Before, I was drawing them mainly based on the daily chart, but then I realized what I really need to do is draw the levels based on the smaller time frames as well, and how price interacted with the smaller time frames and how big of a move came off of those levels. But without further ado, we're going to get into a price action review. Please like, subscribe, comment. It would all be greatly appreciated, but let's get into it. So Apple, the big thing I'm watching on Apple today is going to be that gap fill at 189.37. I'll be kind of curious to see if we can end up holding up that 189.78 support / resistance. So far, it seems pretty good. Pre-market, we're starting to push up. But the big levels I'm watching today is going to be to see if we can hold 189.78. I'm expecting more of an inside day on Apple. On Microsoft, the levels I'm going to be watching for Microsoft is going to be gap fill at 378.85. If we flip to the daily chart, yeah, that's a good level to watch. So the big thing to watch on Microsoft today is to see if we can hold 179.79 as a support level. If we can't, then what I'm going to really watch for on Microsoft is a push back down to 371.81. If we end up holding 379.79, then I'll watch for a push back up to 383. Matter of fact, what we'll do is we'll move this up to 384.30 because that's now the new high. So let's change that a bit. There we go. So that's the level I'm going to be watching for today. And then on NVIDIA, I'm not really looking for any trades on NVIDIA. I've been doing a lot of review on NVIDIA and the option contracts on NVIDIA, and it's just they're way too expensive, so I'm not really interested in NVIDIA personally. But if you were going to watch a trade on NVIDIA, I would definitely watch out for 81.40 level. That's going to be yesterday's close. But today, definitely watch that 490 to 476.34 range. We'll see how we're doing pre-market. So pre-market, yeah, it's showing to be more of an inside day on NVIDIA, so I'll just watch the range of yesterday. So I'd watch for the high of 487.60 for today, and I would watch also 478.61 on NVIDIA. On Meta, the levels I'm going to be watching on Meta are going to be 332.20. That's going to be a gap fill trade, especially if we start rallying up higher or if we start dropping lower on Meta and pre-market. Let's see here. So in terms of support and resistance, what I'm going to be watching is that 341.89 level in the next coming days. We got a nice bounce off the 330.54 support, but it'll be interesting to see if we can end up holding it. If we can hold it, that's going to be a strong case for the bulls. But if we end up breaking that 330.54 level, then that'll definitely show that bears have more control. Now, what is a possible scenario for Meta is that this could just be, if we end up dropping below 330.54, this could just be a higher low that you get, as you can see right here. Could be a nice start to a nice bullish uptrend on Meta. But if we end up if we break this low down here, then it would definitely be more of a bearish case. But I would be very careful with going short on Meta or any type of tech company in general, because it just has not been working out going short on tech. Then on Amazon, what I'm going to be looking at is going to be that 146.32 gap fill. I was really watching the gap fill yesterday on Apple. Apple and what was the other one I was watching? Amazon. Apple and Amazon showed really good potential for a gap fill trade, but it just didn't end up working out. The momentum wasn't there, volume wasn't there, price action wasn't there. It's just not high probability trade. But I definitely watch out 146.32 level from yesterday. Pre-market, we're starting to really drop. I'd watch 145.89, see if we can end up holding it. This candle closes at 9 o'clock. So especially in the 4 hour, if we can hold 145.89, that'll be a nice move upwards, probably to 147 and to 148.53 on Amazon. But if we end up continuing to break that down, I would expect a drop to 143.74 in the next coming days. On Tesla, what I'm going to be watching is going to be that 244.14. As you can tell, that we're starting to develop a bear flag at the moment. So I definitely watch that area for a nice gap fill trade. Now, you might get a quick scalp off of there, but if this bear flag ends up working out, it's going to be a pretty big drop to 243 and possibly even lower, maybe even to 238 today. So just watch that on Tesla. This candle's going to be closing at 9 o'clock as well. Google, when we watch it on Google, I don't have the gap fill marked out. I have this one down here at 132 marked out, but this was so close to the support level that I'm just going to make 135 the gap fill trade. So if we end up really pushing up pre-market, then I would watch that. But if we remain in this general area, I would just treat it as a regular support and resistance zones. I wouldn't even really care for the gap trade. On SPY, what I'm going to be watching on SPY is going to be that 454.61 level. We just make sure that is the level to watch. Yeah, so you're going to want to watch 454.61 for the gap fill trade on SPY. Now, the big thing I'm going to be watching on SPY for today, at least, is see if we can get a move back down to 454, or if we can break upwards of 456. We're starting to develop a bear flag, but we're starting to come out of it slightly. It's a little bit overextended in my opinion, but definitely watch that 456 level on SPY. If we reject it with heavy volume, then I would definitely favor getting into puts here. But on SPX, what this level is, that level is going to be 45, 50, 58 on SPX. And on QQQ, the levels I'm going to be watching for today is going to be that 369.81, I believe it was. Yeah, 389.81 level. And then I'm going to be watching 390 support. We're starting to develop a bear flag, starting to get a little overextended. But 390 is going to be the key level to watch for today. If we end up holding it, then I would definitely favor calls. But if we break it down, then it's going to be a quick drop to 388. And then on, let's see, on the NASDAQ, what that level ends up being. Let's see if I can get it. All right, there we go. So on the NASDAQ, that level is going to be 14.25849 for yesterday's close. But that's what I'm watching for today, traders. Good luck.